Oh!
So Eric decided that he wanted to try to finish unloading the van on his own without my help. And in his rushing around, he decides to back into the garage, forgetting to close the vent fan. So, guess we have our next project awaiting us.
There are no replacement parts for this roof vent, unfortunately. We've looked into potentially having a plastic shop redo it, but honestly, if you look at it, it's too intricate and I don't think they'll be able to do it. Two options. We can go to a junkyard, try to source one from a junkyard, but at this point I think it's just time to go to the old Fan-Tastic fan. Into the work garage. It's a little breezy outside, we don't want to work outside today. One thing we're concerned about is clearance. We did not get the low profile Fan-Tastic vent fan, but the fan that we did get has the flat roof versus a dome, so that cuts off a lot of inches. So I think we should be fine, but let's get this van in the garage. As you can see, we just undid 4 screws, I think. It was a couple more than 4, but we undid some screws on here to take the old one out, and it all lifted out. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to like get rid of all this junk. We need to clean that very, very well. The Fan-Tastic fan is bigger than this, so the main problem is we're gonna have to cut this hole into a 14 by 14 because right now it's rectangular. And as you can see, our solar setup, which you may have seen in the past, right now is just 2 100-watt panels, right, one in front of the other. So yeah, so next up, taking that solar panel off and getting all that gunk off right there around the hatch. So how's it going, Samantha?
It's really hard to take this off.
Go ahead and get that last pull, do it.
I don't want you filming
Just
me.
do it. Show everyone how hard, everyone who's worried about their solar panels falling off with Velcro. Come on.
I'm gonna fall.
All right. How long did that strip take?
I think 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is a pain in the neck. You can see I got mine off, but there's still a bunch of gunk that we're working on getting off little by little. This is all bonus work that we get to do.
Because the solar panel is butted right
Because
up
the
against
solar
the
panel went right up to the vent. So we used a combination of Goo Gone, mineral spirits, and now some denatured alcohol to clean up the mess. But we've been out here for probably 2 hours, I feel like. I don't even know. But normally, I bet you could have this hatch off and have all this done in probably 30 minutes. And people say that's the hardest part because we had to deal with all of that professional grade Velcro. By the way, if anyone's contemplating putting solar panels with Velcro on the top of their car and worried about them flying off, don't worry because they are going nowhere. We had a heck of a time removing that. Anyway, that was the biggest pain, removing all the gunk from the leftover Velcro. But as you can see here, when this top came from the factory and they cut the original hole, it looks like they may have used a rabid muskrat to cut it because it's so chewed up. Like, it's actually instilling confidence in my mind to look at this and be like, wow, we're gonna cut this and I can definitely do better than that. So that's up next.
Looks correct there.
So the new Fan-Tastic fan is 14 by 14. Coincidentally, the square we bought, show them the square, Samantha, is 14 by 16. And it's square, so it's making it very easy to do the measuring.
Yep, Eric already measured it out and taped it out. So because he already did that, I'm just coming in just to get a second pair of eyes, make sure everything looks correct. And it does. Cool. Let's cut this baby up.
All right.
You can see here that Eric has drilled a hole in each of the 4 corners right now to make it a bit easier as he actually cuts.
preliminary cuttings down. We've got the basic 14 by 14 cut. There's one little corner that isn't cut out right there, but I'm not going to cut it out unless I have to, so I'm going to do a little test fit here. And we'll see if we have any luck here. Very, very close. So, yep, just that one little corner right there as I expected. I have to Dremel a little more off, and then the rest looks pretty good. It seems like there's very little movement left and right, so we must have really nailed the sizing correctly. I pretty much did exactly 14 by 14, no bigger, no smaller. So right now what we're doing is we're the wire that we fished into the overhead light area, we're just connecting them to the positive and negative of the overhead light with these little acorns. Just like that, really easy. For the Eurovan, the purple wire is the positive wire, so purple goes with black on the fan, black's positive, and the green's the ground, goes to the white on the fan. So you don't want to tighten these screws down too tight. You just want to go until they're all the way down and some of the butyl tape starts oozing out. You might see it right here as I come down. It makes contact with the surface of the van, and then right when it just barely starts to ooze out, right about there is when you stop, because you don't want to squeeze all of that out or you'll lose the seal. All this stuff's going to be covered with some sort of caulking when we're done as well, but we can scrape off the excess butyl tape before we do that. Okay, so as you can see up here, the Eurovan stock plastic ceiling has this kind of like recessed area where it's a bit wider than the normal, 14 by 14 hole that we cut on the roof. They give you not the wood, just this plastic, and if we just put the plastic up there, it covers like one side, but the other side not quite enough. So per the suggestion of someone else, we just made a little trim piece here that it recesses into, and when we put that up there, we'll just fit it in here and screw it down, and it should look pretty nice. But we'll show you the finished product here. We're just going to put 4 screws in it right now and fit it. There's the vent fan down there. Again, we don't have the low profile one, but we have the low profile top, and that seems to be enough for us to clear the garage. Just by, yet again, about a ½ inch, I would say, we clear the garage, so that's good. The vent fan is finally done. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it right now, but this camera's pretty good. That's the complete install. It really moves air compared to our last fan that we had. Well, we had 2 computer fans in there last time, so I guess anything's better than that. But overall, I'd say we're pretty happy with it. What do you say, Samantha?
Yeah, I think it looks great, and the stain that we had matched perfectly, or pretty darn close to our countertop. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. It adds another like pop of color, so it's not just all gray.
But yeah, that's it.